Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm at the Fiero 40th and totally blown away. I met Jose Pepe Colon from the Fiero, Puerto Rico, and he just presented me with these amazing keychains. Here and here. Handcrafted, straight from Puerto Rico. All right, so Jose, why don't you tell us a little bit about Fiero, Puerto Rico? You can do this. You can do it in Spanish.
Okay. Fiero Puerto Rico es el grupo. Ese grupo se fundó junto con mi amigo Edgar y este servidor. Nos presentó en una ocasión nuestro amigo mutuo Luis Mariano Muñoz, y ahí íbamos a conocernos dos personas que teníamos Fiero. De ahí para acá pues hemos estado siempre juntos y decidimos pues formar un grupo que la razón principal es ayudar a los que tienen fieros en Puerto Rico a tratar de que lo puedan reparar para volverlos a poner en condiciones para correrlos en las carreteras. Y lo que hacemos es que vamos a diferentes auto shows en Puerto Rico, y muchas de las piezas que nosotros conseguimos pues se las donamos a esos amigos para que así puedan tener sus fieros en condiciones. Y lo que hacemos es pues compartir, que eso es lo más importante, compartir entre nosotros.
So you see, guys, Fieros are everywhere, all over the world, and we're making friends. Doesn't matter where you are, if you own a Fiero, you're part of this family. All right, thanks, guys. Hey guys, I'm here at the Fiero 40th anniversary, and I found one of the most unique and interesting cars you're ever going to see. And I've got the owner of the car here. He's going to tell us a little bit about it.
Ann Arbor, Michigan. This Zimmer quickster was built in 1986 off the Pontiac Fiero, though this one is badge number 72, which is an 87, so it's the first 1987. All these cars, they built approximately 170 of them, and you have a frunk in the front, you got the trunk in the back, and you have the engine, mid-engine layout. The car was extended by 14 inches in the front. Now, Zimmer was very well known for building boats, so they really knew about fiberglass. And so the fit and finish of these cars is very, very well done. I believe all the chrome came from Europe, and it's chrome from completely around the vehicle. Ben Johnson was the designer, and he tried to pitch this to Cadillac as a two-seater, but Cadillac didn't want anything to do with it. So Zimmer kind of pounced on it. And this is what you got. You have a leather interior. You actually have power steering in the car, which I didn't find out until today, that the Fiero did not have power steering, so that's pretty unique with the vehicle. She's a little heavier car. I think she weighs probably about 400 pounds more than the base Fiero. Let's see. As you can see just by the photo, the video, the updated interior, all leather.
We can see wood paneling all on the dash, the center console surround, and every inch of the interior is covered in leather to really bring up the luxury quotient of this car. Now, tell us a little bit about the front end on here. How long did they stretch the car
I
out?
believe they stretched it like 14 inches, and I believe it kind of started stretching right about here.
And that gave you a enlarged,
Basically a frunk.
yes, as they call them now, frunks.
Yeah. What they called it back in the 86, 87, I have no idea. But if you look at the front here, and if you come actually way toward I am, with Ben Johnson, if you follow the lines, how they angle out, and then with the trunk, how they just curve around back in. So it makes a beautiful lined car.
And this front bumper, which is totally unique and really speaks to where the direction they were headed into turning this into a luxury two-seat
Vehicle.
Sports coupe.
Yeah, and back brand new, these cars were $53,000, and that was 1986 money.
Wow.
So that would be over $100,000 in today's funds. But the value of these cars has actually not really gone up. A car last year in Bring a Trailer that had 500 miles sold for $24,500. So the market value of these cars is between basically 18 and 24.
So for not a lot of money, you
Yeah.
can ride around in a totally unique luxury sport coupe that you won't see on every corner.
And if you follow around from the front chrome and follow it all the way to the back, the front and the back are basically the same. You got that nice Nike swoosh, basically.
As we see here on the front, and we follow to the back. And we can see it repeated here in the back to carry over the styling theme started in the front of the car. Now we can see the chrome is surrounding, so they reused the original Fiero taillights, but they surrounded them with the chrome element, which really gives it a unique styling element that you wouldn't guess that these were the original Fiero taillights, because they really do look amazing.
And then you have the emblem right there.
We have the Quicksilver by Zimmer. And here's our
Base of the winged Z right there, which is repeated on the side doors.
And one thing they did do that the Fiero didn't do is that they split the engine lid and the trunk lid, so that you have two separate rear hatches. So that way, when you open up something to get it out of the trunk, you don't end up having to open the entire engine compartment and getting hit with a blast of heat, depending on how far you've been driving, which I wish they had done on the Fiero. And these are the original wheels.
Correct.
So they had nice wire wheels, again harkening back to the styling, luxury styling cues.
And not to mention they added power steering,
Yes, and power steering,
which
which
is right here.
let's take a look here. And here we can see the power steering reservoir added to the car. And if we take a peek, we can almost see there we have the power steering pump attached to the top of the engine, which GM did not put in the car because they didn't want to run the power steering lines all the way to the front of the car, which, as we all know, would have worked.
Because it works very nicely on this particular car.
Yes. So, General Motors, once again, with their forward thinking. And we have very nice styling cue here by the window, which really gives it a nice surround to the chrome here.
And if you open up the door, you have a chrome plate. It says Zimmer by Quickster by Ben Johnson with his name on the door sill. And then you have your own original Zimmer plate there telling you the year built and the VIN number.
So these cars received their own VIN numbers, so they were registered as new cars and not Fiero rebodies. So they are not classified as kit cars.
No, they're actually titled as a Fiero.
Oh, they are actually titled as Fiero.
The title is Fiero.
But they're titled as Fiero under the new VIN number, or under the original.
The original VIN.
Okay.
Correct. But Zimmer did their own plate so they would know.
Oh, so those were for Zimmer's registry.
Those were for people that owned the car. They knew what year and what number. Their car
Oh,
was.
okay,
Not
okay.
what the Fiero was. So you had a double plate.
So there you have it, guys. One of the most unique vehicles that you're ever going to see anywhere. Turning the Fiero into a luxury sport coupe. Well, Dave, thanks for showing us this
you're
car.
welcome.
It's amazing, and I'm sure we're all going to love it.
Well, I appreciate the time.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Right.
Hey guys, I'm at the Fiero 40th and I just found another really interesting car. It's a fascinating build and I've got the owner here and he's gonna tell us all about it. There we go.
Hi guys, my name's Alan. I'm originally from England. The body kit is from England. I first saw it in '94 at a show 2 weeks before I emigrated to the United States. If I ever did another car, this was the one. Eventually, I got the money, I got the needs, I got the time, and as you can see, the body, big engine, big brakes, beautiful new suspension, interior, and 5 years later I got my dream. Right now this is 20 years as it is, you see it, and 28,000 miles, hardly ever driven because of COVID especially, but it's a dream to drive. And started life as a small 4-cylinder Pontiac Fiero, basic, and I just modded everything myself, except for the engine install, which was a lot more complicated than I could do, but everything you see is my own handiwork and a friend from Idaho.
So you also have the Lamborghini style scissor doors.
They call it butterfly door. That was an extra modification. It took me 3 months to do that, but I did it. So
let's take a look at your engine here.
Go ahead. Cadillac North Star. Standard North Star engine, North Star transmission, just to keep it all clean. And 300 horsepower. V6 Fiero at 150 horsepower. So this is double that and a lot more torque as well.
So this thing has got a lot of get up and go.
Yes, sir.
And we can see a very interesting tail treatment on the car. As you can see, all of the lights that take the place of the tail light bar of the Fiero. And the name of the kit is the Finale. And as we move toward the front, you can see the styling tools, you can see the scalloped sides. Now, are these intakes here functional to cool?
They're not functional. They're just for show. I'm going to make them functional eventually. Maybe put another little radiator in the side there somewhere. Just help with cooling a bit more.
That is very cool. And you have also, from I see it, this is the Pisa dash?
Yeah, wraparound dash from Pisa, yeah. Which is trimmed in grey and vinyl, grey leather. Kind of matches your interior.
Wow, that is a really nice touch to the interior of the car.
The door cards were modified from a Camaro / Trans Am.
Oh, wow.
Instead of the standard Fiero looking thing.
Wow, those are very nice.
Yeah.
And to close the door, you just bring it down.
You're almost like halfway now, and then you just close it.
Wow, look at that. That lines up very nicely. And you can see the scallop design flows from the rear all the way to the front. And keyless opening, look at that.
The doors have gone, handles have gone.
Wow. Now you've also upgraded the brakes.
Yeah, Willwood brakes all around, 12 inch. You got a big engine, you got to be able to stop. So
that's the truth.
Yeah. So.
And here we have the hood assembly. We have ducting to let the heat out from the radiator to aid in cooling.
Radiator right there.
Radiator's here.
Move the battery up front for weight distribution.
Now, have you noticed that it makes a really big difference with the extra weight from the battery in the front?
Yeah, it does. Because there's more weight in the back.
Wow.
The engine's only like 50 pounds heavier than a 4-cylinder Iron Duke, I believe. It's an all aluminum V8, whereas the Duke was a steel 4-cylinder. So.
And here we can see the front design, which is beautiful, almost like a shark in the front, with the small headlights. Now, tell us about the headlights.
Headlights came from a 1999 Dodge Stratus. They were narrower. Originally, the ones that came with the kit were too deep for my liking, so I spent a bit of time researching, looking around, and I found these just fit just nice. There's still a little bit of work to get them in. You have to chop this back corner off and then seal it with a bit more plastic, but you don't see that under the body. But it fits great, it just looks the part. So.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
That sleek, low-profile look, which just wraps around to the front fender. It's a beautiful design. It's a beautiful car.
Thank you.
You did an excellent job with it. And thanks for sharing it with us on the channel. All right, guys. we're gonna keep wandering around and seeing what else interesting we can find.
How you doing?
Guys, we're here at the Fiero 40th, and I am here with one of the masters of the Fiero world, Fiero John Miller. Now I'm gonna flip it to him, and he's gonna tell us all about this beauty that he has here and his role in the Fiero world.
Hey, what's up all you cool cats and kittens? This is Fiero John coming at you live from the 40th anniversary of the Pontiac Fiero, and I'm going to tell you about my baby. This is a 1986 Pontiac Fiero 2M6 SE. That's what I said. She was my first car. My grandmother gave it to me when I was 17 years old, and I put a bunch of miles on it. She has 206,000 miles on it now. And in 2003, I decided to hit the button and go for broke and completely restore and customize this car to the highest level that I felt I could do. And that's what you see now. So, obviously we converted it to a fastback. It's got the original IRM integrated rockers on it. I did all the metal work on these grates, which are folded over, but in a compound bend. So it's not a brake; it's a brake along a curve. And this is like 16 gauge stainless steel. So if you can appreciate metalwork, wow, you know what it took to do that. Fit and finish was my thing on this. I wanted it absolutely stunning. If you notice the rockers, everything is.
Sorry guys, we had a little interruption there. Nice one.
I just lost the exhaust competition. Yeah, so anyway, everything's perfect, smooth, polished. You'll notice billet specialty steering wheel. The shifter is out of a Cadillac CTS, and it used to be wood grain. We ripped off the wood grain and painted it gold to match the car, wrapped in leather. Every part on this car is new old stock. All the glass is new old stock. The door skins, the fenders, the hood, the front bumper, the quarter window glass, taillights, everything is GM original new old stock parts. The wheels are Boyd Coddington Junkyard Dogs. Those are one-off wheels that were made for this car by Boyd Coddington. The brakes are Held Motorsports 13-inch brakes with 4-piston calipers on all 4 wheels, aluminum hats, and directionally vaned rotors. The engine and whatnot here, I'll open this up on it. The engine in this car is a 3.4 liter out of an F-body Camaro, of course, but she is been heavily modified internally with flat top pistons, a cam. It's got sprint headers on it. It's a full Borla exhaust, back when you could buy a Borla exhaust for these cars. A functioning cold air intake. That's a carbon fiber K&N intake that's double-walled insulated and ported into the actual IRM scoop. So even though it's close to the exhaust, it's not getting the heat. The filter element is not getting the heat from the exhaust. Or at least as much as we can. So the audio system in this car, if you look here on it, it's completely stock. There's nothing but hidden behind each seat is a hidden box with 10-inch subwoofers that are actually carved into the firewall of the car so that we didn't lose seat travel. And,
wow.
So, when you're looking at the car, if you look again, there's no sound system in that car. And if you look, even retains the original carpet up on the top and in the console. But if you notice, it's sticking out a little bit. So the boxes are only like this thick, but the magnet of the subwoofer, it's not a shallow sub, that's a full depth sub that's going into the, it's like almost touching the fuel filler neck.
Wow, now that is amazing.
Yeah, there's some engineering feats back then,
Wow.
And then, it is what it is. I mean, everything that we can do to detail it. Oh, and the paint here on it. Let's see if we can get something. We're not in the sunlight here, but come over here with the full flashlight here, get your camera going. You'll see here that the metal flake in the paint is just hold on, let me make this brighter. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, the metal flake.
Oh wow, look at that. That is beautiful.
Yeah, so it really dances.
I mean, this paint job is absolutely perfect.
And even in the Pontiac lighter, that is painted in.
Oh, wow.
As a detail guy, Onyx, yeah, I'll get that out of that so you can get a better shot at it. But
Wow.
you can appreciate the level
I
of detail
can,
that takes
because
to get that clean and cut.
I mean, that everything, the letters are filled in perfectly. There's nothing that's out of line, nothing that's.
And the other reason you're experiencing that is because this was a new old stock headlight lid, so there's no paint filling in those voids already. So we
Right.
started fresh with crisp, deep cuts.
Wow, that is amazing. So let me ask you, John, what got you into this whole Fiero thing? Because we know you're big in the DeLorean world.
Well, no. I've recently been into DeLoreans, but my history and my love and my passion has always been Pontiac Fieros. I've been a Fiero guy since I was a kid. I'm a DeLorean guy, yes, but I'm a DeLorean guy since 2013. I'm a Fiero guy since 1997.
Sorry, guys, are having a exhaust
So
competition
we're in
here.
the middle of an exhaust decibel competition. That's what's going on here. So forget the background noise. But it's a Fiero 40, then everything goes, baby. So
Yes, it
you know,
does.
That's what's up. So yeah, I own an auto repair shop in Tuckerton, New Jersey called John Miller Car Care Center. You can check us out at jmcarcare.com or fieroservice.com. And you know, we work on cars all the time. If you turn around right here, this car, this is my brother right here. That's right. How you doing? It's David Steinmetz, everybody. And you see here, David came and brought his car to me, and we did the exact same thing to David's with the 3.4 and whatnot to give him the performance and the illusion that it's still a stock appearing engine. Because my belief is that we should honor these cars for the way they're built, and everybody does their own thing. Some people have the coolest engine mods there are. But my style, just my personal style, my vote is that it's a Fiero. It should look like a Fiero, and then we should take that and get as much horsepower as we can. So we can get almost 200 horsepower out of these 3.4s. And we just did a dyno run on my gold car and ran just about 140 horsepower at the rear wheels.
Nice.
On an automatic, which is almost impossible to get a real good reading of. So that's it, man. So Onyx is the man.
All right.
For probably, how long do I know you, Onyx? 20 years?
Oh, got to be close to 20 years since the first time we met.
Longer than I've owned a DeLorean.
All right, John. Well, thanks for the look. And guys, we're going to post a link to John's car care center in the description of this story. So if you guys need any work on your car, not only Fieros, but anything else that this guy can get his hands on and work his magic on, he will do.
That's right.
All right, guys. We're going to take more of a look around this thing, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm at the Fiero 40th, and you're never going to guess what I ran into. This is one of my dream cars. This is the Fiero with the best convertible conversion ever made for the car. And I have the owner here, and we're going to tell you all about it. Okay, go.
Hi, my name is Daniel Potvin. I'm from Lévis, Quebec, Canada. And this is my Automotive Fiero Formula. It's an 88 Formula with the Automotive top. And she can be put into 3 combinations. This is full top down. We're going to put her in mode, target mode. She is now in full target mode.
And that target mode is actually very reminiscent of a Ferrari 308 Spider, which is, and it follows the exact form and shape of the Fiero's sail panels.
Correct. It looks like exactly like a Nachi in this configuration. And if I want to go full top up, I got these. They're like they've got spring-loaded screws, not screws. They're just twist locks. These screws are twist locks, and they go inside, and then I just twist it in, lock them both sides, full top.
Wow. I mean, that is just a quick 30-second operation to go from top up to top down.
Correct. Yes,
And
it's really appreciable. And what I like about it is that if it's really too hot, because the one thing that people don't realize is that there's a lot of heat coming out of here. And if I don't have it in target mode, the airflow is like this. So the heat of the engine is just cooking our brains.
Wow.
So I always put it in target mode. It's a lot easier to do. So, and it's more comfortable. This car does not have AC. It's a future plan to put it with AC in a couple of years maybe. So that's where we're at right now with this.
Right.
Also, this car has 13-inch discs all around. Brake discs, and with 18s. I got 18s all around, and of course I got the 37 millimeter offsets on the rear, like for the 88s. And full LED all the way, all around. And my headlights are 60 millimeter kits that I make and sell. So
Oh,
those are
that
60
that is
millimeter
very
headlights.
nice. I mean, this is a much more attractive look than the big cinder block Fiero headlights.
And with, of course, the LEDs
Oh,
front
look
and
at
back.
this.
It really lights up at night. It really looks all lit up, but in the daytime like this.
And if we take a look at your interior,
Yes,
we
yes.
can see that you have a very special dashboard configuration.
Yes, it's a chap from Florida. His name is Amida. Let me get the spring loaded here. Sometimes a little under. That's okay. So Amida is from Florida. He makes these kits, these dash kits, which are known as the G1 dash kit from Amida. And these are made in Florida. This gentleman makes these dashes, which are plug and play. So it takes about 2.5 hours to 3 hours to switch from the Fiero dash to this G1 model,
Now-
which brings the car back up to the year 2000 instead of an 88.
Yeah,
which-
that is an amazing chance, and only 2.5 to 3 hours.
Correct.
Wow.
And it keeps the clusters. The switches are just brought down to the left side of the car underneath. So, you know, the headlights pop up from there.
Oh wow, look at that. That is
Yeah.
very well thought out. I can see your ventilation ducts there. Are those from a Pontiac Solstice, if I'm not mistaken?
They are from, if I'm correct, it's from Mercedes type of car. I can't remember. I think Amida would be the one to tell you.
Because
But
they-
you could be right though. It could be a Solstice.
Because
as far as
they
I
really
know.
do look good on this dash. They kind of just add to the styling of it.
Yes, very functional. And of course, you can order the option with a DIN 2 radio at the top. You can see that the HVAC is at the bottom completely. In the middle, I put a CB. I had space. And on top of that, we got a DIN 2 radio with the Apple CarPlay.
Which is what, well, they didn't have Apple CarPlay back then,
is
but
correct.
GM, I always thought the biggest mistake they made on the interior was they put the ventilation controls above the radio.
Correct. Yes. So in this configuration, it's really nice and sweet because you handle more the radio than the HVAC. once
That's
it's
true.
set.
And
And of course, it's got power mirrors, power door locks, which I need to install. Just the fascias aren't installed. It does have power windows. Power door locks. But the fascias that usually
Yes,
have the buttons,
with the button on it.
that's what I'm still searching for.
If actually, I may have some.
Okay.
I may have some because I've got a ton of extra parts, and I may actually have some. Now, another thing that's really interesting about this automotive top is that it replaces the entire rear quarters with these fenders
Correct.
inserts,
Correct.
which are shaped to the shape of the top,
Yeah.
along with the reshaped engine grills.
That is correct. So these grills, the automotive kits came in two versions. For fastback, therefore this grill was longer, and for
Okay.
the Nachi a little bit shorter, and the taillights were different. But the same procedure was done to fit these.
Well, I can see that the fit of these fender inserts is perfect. I mean, it keeps the original lines perfectly of the car.
Yeah.
And this top design is genius. I mean, it doesn't take away anything from the engine compartment or the passenger compartment,
Correct.
as the top just folds down on itself.
There's no fold in. It lays flat on the top. Right now it's not laying flat, but if you want, it's just that you got to bring these down correctly. And once these are in,
And once this is in, this is the height that the top has from the body lines of the car, which is the best that I have ever seen on any convertible kit on a Fiero. Well, I gotta tell you, you have a beautiful car. This is one of my dream Fieros here.
Yeah, and like I said, I will invite you to make a repro of this, but in 1/10 scale or 1/20th scale. I can't remember which one I have. Is that red one with the doors and everything on? So,
Yeah, I think I know which one that is. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if I have it, but I think I know which one that one is. So I would be more than happy to reproduce this car. As like I said, it's been a pleasure just to see it. As for many, many years, I have been on a search for an automotive Fiero. Haven't found one yet. And the body is braced, from what I remember, with a large X-frame underneath the chassis to stiffen it up.
Yes, that's what came with the kit. But this one has a racing frame from Coulthard Racing, and it's a 2-inch rod, square rod, all around, and it's pinned to the center. And I can remove the gas tank without taking anything out, just direct drop out.
Oh, that is.
And when I lift this car up, the door jump don't even move.
So the chassis still retains the original stiffness and rigidity, so you don't even have any flexing in it.
Correct.
Wow. It's as if the car was designed as a convertible.
Correct. Adds a little bit of weight, 400 and some odd pounds, but it's worth it. It's
If you want to
threatening.
cruise around with the top down, it's worth it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
Well, I want to thank you for giving us a look at your baby here.
Yes, you're welcome.
It's
You're
been
welcome.
I've never been this close to an automotive car, and
How about sitting in one?
oh, you kidding?
There you go.
Oh,
my friend.
guys, I get to try on an automotive for the first time ever. Oh wow, look at this. I am inside of an automotive Fiero with there's no roof up there. There's nothing. I gotta tell you, from the seated position, the A-pillar does not encroach on your upward visibility like some convertibles do, where the A-pillars come back so far they come into your line of sight, and you may as well have a roof after that. This is true roadster cruising. Wow. Thanks for that, because
No problem.
wow. All right, well, I want to thank you for giving us a tour of your car. And
You're very welcome, and maybe see you somewhere with another Fiero, right? You're
oh
going
yeah,
around,
yeah,
right?
yeah. No, I'm
Good.
gonna be going to all the shows, and hopefully, once I get my project car finished at some point before I die.
Yeah, I think we're all there somewhere.
Won't be as cool as your convertible, but it'll be something.
Thank you very much. I got your email. I will be contacting you.
And I will be posting a link. Send me a link to your headlights. I'm sure everybody will
Yes.
want to know all about those. And we'll post a link to his headlight set here so that you guys can check it out for yourselves. And that's about it. We'll see you on the next one.
Have a good one.
My 1985 Pontiac Fiero. I picked it up about 3 weeks ago because I needed a solid chassis. I ended up building an engine over 2.5 years. I've been working really hard on. It took me 2.5 years to build this Pontiac Super Duty 4 engine. And I just needed a really clean chassis, so I found a chassis way out in Iowa, drove 6 hours to get it, brought it back the same weekend, threw my motor in it, and here I am at the 40th. Made it all the way out here.
So you basically built this thing overnight just to get here.
I didn't build it overnight. It took me 2.5 years to build the engine.
Well, the engine took you 2.5 years, but
Yes.
to put it in the car and everything.
Put it in the
was-
car, I got it done in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yes, it was a lot of work. I had to go through so much stuff on the car. I even got the interior pretty much done.
Wow. So basically the entire chassis was a bare chassis, and you just had
Pretty
to.
much. I just
Wow.
had to throw everything on it.
And you did all of this in 3 weeks.
Yes. I worked my ass off. Late nights, long days, just anytime I could work on it, I worked on it.
Why is what I have to ask you.
Because I wanted to show off I wanted to show off my engine so badly that I needed a car to work on. And I met my goal of making it here with it, so I'm happy about that, even if I can't drive it right now.
Well, I got to tell you, your car impressed everybody at the exhaust decibel contest.
That's awesome.
I mean, we were all blown away by it. As soon as you were done and our ears stopped ringing, everybody wanted to give you a round of applause.
That's awesome.
So thanks for sharing your story with us about this insane monster, which to me is one of my favorites of the show.
Very cool.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. And you guys have got to hear this to believe it. And I think I did manage to film it. So you will if you watch the video. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Shots of the engine. Found another really interesting car. When you guys see the color on this thing, you're going to be blown away. It's a beautiful color shift paint. So now I'm going to turn the camera over and we'll have the owner. He'll tell you all about it and let us know.
Hi, I'm Brennan Guitar. I'm here in Pontiac, Michigan for the 40th anniversary show, and this is my 1988 Pontiac Fiero Formula. This paint is a DuPont Chrome Illusion, painted in 2009 by my uncle who worked for DuPont here in Detroit. And the official name of it is a Blue Steel Spectra Prism Chrome Illusion. And essentially what that does is, in the darker colors and in the shadows, it kind of looks a purple bluish color, but when the light hits it at a certain angle, it turns a gold copper color, which is really cool to look at. It's a 2.8 stroker kit with a 5-speed manual. We're putting down about 150, 160 horsepower at the crank, so nothing too crazy, but this will definitely put you in your chair if you get after it.
All right, so we're going to take a look at it and see how the color shifts on this thing. As you guys can see it for yourselves. Watch the color change. You see that going from purple to copper when the sun hits it? That is a beautiful color shift. Wow. You can see it in the sun right there. It's got that golden copper color. Wow. And we can see here, as soon as you get out of the sunlight, it goes back to purple, then back to copper. That is a beautiful color shift paint. And you can follow him on Instagram at 88Formula. So you can see more of him and his car. All right, guys, we're going to keep going on this festival.